You ready? Okay, here we are. I should bring my readers. I can't see anything on the screen. You look very grumpy.
I'm not.
You look grumpy.
It's what my face looks like all the time. You say, hello, Linda. My chopped liver. Hello, Becky. Rosa.
Alan will read me the hellos because I can't see them.
This is why I do it. Hello, Chrissy Kincaid Norris.
Hey, Brooks. Brooks is in the house.
Hello, Hector. Wasabi. Wasabi. Remember those commercials? Wasabi.
Beer, Bud Light, wasn't it?
I think so. Hello, Julia. Jacob, Ina, Janet, Kedron. Some of our regulars, very best customers are filing into the auditorium.
Thank you all. We've got a lot to get to on the podcast.
Do we?
We do.
Do we really?
Once again, your wife has been furiously gathering stuff.
Oh, you have stuff? Well, I have stuff too.
Then maybe we'll save my stuff.
Well, I don't know. Your stuff is probably better than my stuff. Hello, Sam. Sam, I am. Hello, Leah.
My cousin Leah?
Leah Hanley.
Oh, hey, Leah.
That's right. Buy a hat. They're on sale now. Why don't we have a hat in here? I mean, we're trying to sell hats. We're not modeling the hats. What's the deal? This is bad marketing. Yeah, if you want one of our hats, go to kellyandellen.com/shop. They're on 15% off now. I'm pushing hats. It's an end of summer sale.
Because you don't wear hats in the winter.
Well, I mean, you wear skull caps in the winter, right?
Or you can get a sandwiches and Lovin skull caps.
I'm not sure those would move. Hello, Kim Corey. Whoa, back from the dead. Where's Kim Corey been? Kim Corey in the house. Cousin Grayson.
Hey, Grayson.
Hello, Michael.
How's the weather, Grayson? Grayson's in Florence, South Carolina.
Hello, Leanne.
In the path, somewhat, of Hurricane Dorian. Even though they're inland, I remember a couple of years ago, the hurricane spawned a lot of flooding in Florence. It was really bad.
Did you post on your Facebook that we're here on YouTube? Michael's asking.
No. Show you that real quick?
I mean, if you want to. If you want people to be here.
I'll do it real quick, but then we got to get started.
Yeah.
Publish. Live.
Publish.
About to.
Oh, it's okay, Kim. I know you've got a life. I was just giving you a hard time. We're glad you're back, though. Isn't this exciting?
Well,
aren't you glad you tuned in for this? Hello, Carolyn. I am glad you're back. I missed you very much. Hello, Kendra. Yeah, I think she likes it. You know, she doesn't get too excited over too much, but she seems to like it.
What? Me?
Brooke's room.
Oh. Yeah, by the time I saw her, she was over the excitement. But my daughter was the same way. She was excited when she found out she was on the volleyball team, and by the time she got in the car, she was over it. Hello, this is Kelly Raspberry Evans, and I'm live on my Facebook page to ask you to leave Facebook for about an hour and come join me and Alan over on our YouTube page, which is A Sandwich and Some Love, and just search for that. And we're going to be recording our podcast here in the next couple of minutes. And Alan, through the modern miracle of technology,
Look at all this technology.
showing that.
Look at all this technology we have going on.
So anyway, if y'all can come, that'd be really awesome. We appreciate it. Just letting you know, we record it usually around 8 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday and Sunday nights. And it's Wednesday night. Oh, I hope I recorded Real Housewives of Dallas. I think I have that set to record. So I'm missing the season premiere of Real Housewives. So if you can postpone that and come join us on YouTube, I'd really appreciate it. All right. See you there in a minute. Okay. Here I go. All right. That's the best I can do.
That all you got, babe?
That's all I've got.
Toby, I am. I'm going to Wichita Falls with Kelly. That's this month. We're going the 17th. That's my hometown, by the way. I don't know if you knew that or not. But nobody's coming to see me. They're coming to see Kelly. It just happens to be my hometown.
Yeah, I got to write a speech for that. I got to get busy on that.
Yeah, you do.
It's in 13 days.
Manuel from Lubbock, Hub City. Lynn, Tiffany. All right.
All right, ready?
Now, I was doing this and then I got sidetracked.
Give everybody from Facebook a minute to get over here.
Yeah, just give them a minute to get over here.
They should. If they're not coming by now, they're not coming. Man, my vision is getting worse.
It is?
I need my readers. I think my eyes just get tired and dry at night. I can't see.
It's tame.
Good. We don't need to start off vulgar.
I'll start off vulgar. That's what I'll do. Start off vulgar. I want to start off vulgar. All right, give me something.
Testing 1 2. This is me. Testing 1 2.
Sawyer Crack. Please pick up the red courtesy phone. Sawyer Crack. Please pick up the red courtesy phone. Mr. Crack.
I wonder if there's anybody with the last name of Crack.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
There has to be, right?
Absolutely. There's got to be.
Spelled differently but pronounced Crack.
We probably have a listener named Crack.
Maybe. And press that record button. Don't forget. There we go. Welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast. I am Kelly Raspberry Evans, and the co-host of this podcast is my husband.
Hello, Alan. A train in the house.
Yeah, I'm getting used to that new way of introducing himself. No one's ever embraced nickname more than you and prime time.
If you're gonna,
Deion Sanders.
hey, look, if you're gonna do a bit, go all in.
Yeah.
Don't half-a it. No.
Well, speaking of doing a bit and going all in, Alan has this running bit that he's going to get an RV, and we're going to sell off all of our possessions.
It's not a bit.
And
it's a dream. It's a life dream.
And people are taking him very seriously. In fact, I need to thank Patty Syverson, who sent me a gift. Said, enjoy your gift. I hope you and Alan can RV your way to the West and come to Santa Cruz, California to visit.
How much fun would that be?
I love your podcast. You make me feel like I'm back home, and I am wearing Patty's gift. You haven't even noticed. I was hiding it. It's a t-shirt that says,
that's cool.
RV there yet?
Love it. Nice.
So Patty thinks you're serious and sent me presents.
Wow. Thanks, Patty.
You want to know where yours is?
Well, I guess maybe mine is in the mail. I guess it's in the mail, maybe?
Oh, come on. She's trying to get me on board with presents.
Oh, she knows she's already got me hooked?
I guess. Well, you don't need hooking because you think that's going to happen. But anyway, we'll see. But thank you. This is a good color for me, too.
Wow.
What would you call this? A teal?
It's actually chopped liver blue. That's what I
blue?
see. Yeah, chopped liver blue, Patty.
It's a very good color for me. Thank you, Patty.
Maybe mine is. Maybe she shipped yours priority and mine is ground. It'll be here in a
RV there yet?
Are we there yet?
And remember, just last podcast, we found out that t-shirts aren't classy.
Well, that's what that Swedish lady tried to tell us. That load of horse, you know what?
I haven't changed a thing about what I've how I dress since then. I went shopping today in the workout clothes I wore to the gym.
Yeah. And I was out and about in the Dallas-Fort Worth community today, and I am now aware of what ladies are wearing. I kind of looked around.
Yeah,
and
you paying attention more?
T-shirts, cut-off jeans.
We don't care.
Athleisure wear,
We're not
hats.
classy.
Oh,
We don't care.
Oh, Pikachu T-shirts, you name it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
I'm supposed to put effort into my hair and makeup. I did put effort into my hair after a shower, but makeup, forget it. I've already got you hooked. I can't remember the first time I let you see me without my makeup. Do you remember that? Does that stand out?
No.
When you saw me just barefaced and
just looking
hairy
like a ghost.
Yeah. You remember that?
No, it doesn't stand out.
Okay, good.
I'm sure it was.
Wasn't that shocking then?
Well, I don't know when that would have been. It wasn't the day after we got married. I'm sure it wasn't that day.
No.
It was way before that.
I think I had to prepare you for the first time we went to a beach vacation together, because if I don't spray tan, and I don't regularly get to do that, but I try to in the summer. When I go swimming, it's really shocking when I come out of the water, because in the sun, I'm even whiter and my hair seems to be redder. And so when I come up out of the water, I kind of resemble a bloody Q-tip.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to describe it.
So
I had to prepare you for that.
I think that description is 100% accurate too.
Yeah, you know, some women come up out of the water and they're sexy, like Denise Richards.
Like Phoebe Cates in Fast Times.
Yeah, Denise Richards, she was the Bond, all the Bond James Bond babes.
Just tan, and the water just beads on their oily tan skin.
And their hair. I don't understand these women that have wet hair and
just
it looks so nice.
Slick straight back.
But you can see my receding hairline.
Oh.
It's just not a good look.
What about
not my best on a beach vacation.
What about your husband porpoising in the water for the first time? What did you
think?
You're
very handsome. You're naturally tan.
Well, thank you. That makes me feel better.
Confidence.
That makes me feel better since Patty forgot my gift.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding.
Well, other people bring you gifts.
They do.
You remember what people brought us to the family vacation? I don't forget it. One of our best listeners, Tina, brought us a survival kit.
Yeah, she did.
She bought us lube.
Why is that? Why are you bringing this up? I don't understand why you're bringing this up.
What else she bring us? She brought us lube. She brought us, what was it?
Well, she brought us something to lubricate. She brought us something to medicate, and she brought us something to
hydrate. Yes, liquid IV is what Tina brought us. See, I'm leading the horse to water.
There you go, babe. You are a trained professional.
Liquid IV. I'll tell you what. This thing is catching on like wildfire. It's really great because we're supposed to be drinking more water. We don't drink enough. And if you add a little stick of liquid IV flavored packets to your water, it's like doubling the hydration that you're receiving. The good thing about liquid IV is they have a give back mission. So what they do is when you buy liquid IV, they donate to places that don't have a lot of access to clean drinking water. And so far, they've donated 1.5 million sticks of liquid IV to places like Haiti, Uganda, Puerto Rico, most recently Nepal. And that's really great and wonderful. But you know what else is really great and wonderful about liquid IV? We found out on our family vacation, it helps with hangovers.
Yeah, it does.
And you don't just have to mix it with water. Sophia was mixing it with her ginger ale. And liquid IV, it helps with that. If we're going to be going to a wedding in Aspen, the altitude, hydrating helps you overcome altitude sickness. You add a little liquid IV to your bottled water, it's doubling the hydration that you're getting. So you're drinking less, but getting more hydration. Liquid IV, the fastest growing wellness brand. You can find them everywhere, even Costco, at nationwide locations, but we want you to order from them online.
We love Liquid IV, and we know you will too. And right now, our listeners get 25% off at liquidiv.com when you use our code SANDWICH at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order on Liquid IV's website. So go to liquidiv.com, enter our promo code SANDWICH to get your savings and start getting better hydration. That's liquidiv.com, promo code SANDWICH. Don't wait, start properly hydrating today.
It's got vitamins too.
Yeah, it
Good
does.
for you.
Love liquid
It was
IV.
a nice gift from Tina. See, you do get presents from listeners.
That wasn't a present to me.
It was to us.
It's a present to us. I want presents to me.
Oh my goodness.
What are we starting with today? I'm all discombobulated.
Well, we do need to say, by the time you're listening to this podcast on Thursday, September 5th, I'm wondering if the hurricane is going to be affecting my family in South Carolina, because I know it is heading up the coast. It's been, it was very tragic what happened in the Bahamas. It's really interesting because some part of the Bahamas were spared. We were talking to some people that had friends vacationing there. Just, really awful timing. But they said, yeah, we were fine where we were. But other people, there were so many lives lost and just devastation. I was reading some stories from some of the victims of the hurricane today. It was just sad. So our thoughts do go out to people who are still struggling with that. It has weakened quite a bit as of the time we're recording.
Yeah,
this.
I just heard it had weakened to a Category 2. What was bad about the Bahamas is it just parked.
Stayed.
It parked over the Bahamas and then stayed like a Category 4. It's crazy.
It was moving at 1 mile an hour at one point.
So they just got hammered.
Yeah, it was awful.
But now it's weakened, but still, I think Category 2 is
it's still bad.
Bad.
Wind damage, flooding. So we're thinking about everyone who's listening and those who aren't as well. And hopefully my family will escape relatively unscathed.
I hope so.
With that. But, a lot of people are curious. My daughter was asking about hurricane names, how they come up with the hurricane names. I don't know. Do they put it to a vote? Do they just have people that work at the National Hurricane Center to come up with the names?
They go in alphabetical order.
I do.
Okay.
I do. Right. The Farmer's Almanac, the old Farmer's Almanac, says that the names of the next Atlantic Ocean hurricanes after Dorian are Erin.
Erin.
Fernand.
Okay.
Gabrielle, or is it Gabrielle?
That'd be Gabrielle.
Umberto.
Nice, babe. I thought you were going to say Humberto.
I messed up Gabrielle. Umberto. Imelda.
Imelda Marcos, Filipino.
Jerry. That's my daddy's name. Jerry, not Gerald. Jerry. Karen. Lorenzo. Melissa. Nestor.
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 How about that?
Olga. Pablo. Rebecca. Sebastian. Tanya. Van, and Wendy.
I'll tell you what, if we get all the way down to Van and Wendy, we had a bad season.
I seem to remember it going really, really high before.
Really?
I seem to remember that. What do they do after they get past Z? I don't remember.
Has there been a Hurricane Kelly?
Not that I'm aware of.
There has been a Hurricane Allen. It hit Texas.
Yeah? When?
Long time ago. I think it was in the 80s.
Was it bad?
Yeah, it was a pretty bad one. It hit I think it hit around Corpus Christi. I was a kid. Hurricane Allen.
Yeah.
Spelled the same way, too.
Well, a lot of people, try to prep ahead of a hurricane. So they wait till then to get propane and get water and bread and all that. But, a lot of people are doomsday preppers.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
And
I have heard of this.
Right. Have you ever thought of it? Do you ever get nervous enough I know when
I've got
certain times when things are kind of scary in the world, and
I've got a bug out kit in my safe.
What's a bug out kit?
A bug out kit.
What is that?
It's if the S hits the fan and there's zombies running in the streets. You go into your safe and get your bug out kit.
But what is a bug out kit? I don't know.
So you got guns and ammo.
Well, we can't eat those and drink those.
Liquid IV.
Liquid IV. So what little water doomsday preppers get liquid IV.
No, I'm talking about the bare.
Because it multiplies your hydration.
I'm talking about the bare essentials, babe. Knives, matches, a saw.
Yeah, but you have to have stuff to eat and drink.
Well, you go out and kill it and eat it.
Yeah, they said doomsday prepping or stockpiling food, medicine, weapons, and other supplies in case of an apocalyptic scenario has long been considered weird behavior, only exhibited by conspiracy theorists and other extremists in the U.S., but such prepping has actually been steadily on the rise in the U.S.
I think we need to do this because I hear a lot of this about 12 years from now.
They said people are stockpiling cans of tuna. Oh, please don't stockpile tuna, fish, and sardines. That's what my husband will probably end up doing. Ugh.
That's why I'm
be down
in
an underground bunker or holed up with people eating stinky stuff like that.
I bet you'd eat it. If that's all you had, I bet you'd eat it if that's all you had to eat.
Stockpile something else that doesn't stink. One group of researchers says it's an ever-growing sense of impending doom in our American culture. In other words, more people believe we are close to the end of the world as we know it. How about that? I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have a supply of clean drinking water on hand at all times, I guess, at all times.
Don't some people just fill their bathtub up or something like that?
I know, but you're drinking out of your bathtub.
Well, then you boil it.
Oh, well, still.
Yeah.
Just the mental picture of that.
Right.
But, doomsday, who knows what could happen? They said that the next asteroid that's going to pass by the Earth, asteroid, they have those movies about the asteroids colliding with the Earth. It's happening on September 14th.
September 14th. An asteroid's going to hit us September 14th?
Well, it's not going to hit us unless the astronauts are wrong.
Glad I'm getting my
astronomers.
Glad I'm getting my tattoo done on the 13th.
An asteroid's going to pass by Earth that is larger than some of the tallest buildings on the planet. The world's tallest building is in Dubai, 2,717 feet tall. So it says it's going to be larger than that. Anyway, it's going to be traveling at 14,361 miles per hour when it passes 3.3 million miles away from Earth at 7:54 p.m. Eastern Time. They don't think it poses any danger to us, but what do they really know? One little turn and bam.
Well, that son of a gun is 3.3 million miles away. I mean, do we really have that much to be concerned about?
Too close for my comfort.
Yeah, that actually is pretty close, though. 3.3 million miles away. How close is the moon?
I don't know. Don't ask me questions I can't answer.
Well, I know the sun's 93 million. So that kind of gives you a little perspective. It's pretty close. 3.3 million miles. That's pretty close.
Now I want to go stockpile tuna. I'm starting to see the light.
You're starting to panic?
No, not really. But I think we do need to be, it's kind of like smart to take some precautions. Some people believe in keeping, we do not, so nobody come looking through our house. But some people believe in, hiding cash in places because what if, the terrorists or somebody take over all of our technology and we can't have access to our cash because the ATMs aren't working and online stuff's not working. And all you can have is your hands on cash.
Mm-hmm. Cash is king. And I have no cash.
We have none.
I have no cash.
You never have
I never
cash.
carry cash.
He never has cash.
You know what I had to do today?
So when you valeted before me, what did you do?
Bummed $5 off my date. No, I'm just kidding.
Because he really never has cash.
I had to get cash today out of an ATM to pay for the football tickets. I couldn't remember my PIN. I mean, I had to go through like 4 or 5 pins to finally remember my PIN.
You're lucky it didn't lock you out.
Yeah. But I finally coughed up a PIN that worked. I was like, wow, this is cool. I can get money out of this machine.
How did
cool
it feel?
Is that?
How did it feel to have cash in your hand?
When I was in college, I was so poor.
How poor were you?
I used to pulse out $5 out of the ATM. That's how poor I was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some people are poorer than that.
I was poor. I mean, you talk about poor.
But my mom and dad, they'd upload $30 a month into my account.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to stretch $1 a day, basically.
I would have like $2 worth of quarters that I'd have to last me all week long so I could do laundry. And then when my parents would send me money, I was so excited when they'd send me like $20 or whatever. Being a stupid college kid, I'd just go blow it on pizza and then have to hold that $2. And then when I got home from college after my freshman year, I realized my parents weren't sending me their money. They were sending me my money that I had in the savings account, and I had wiped out my savings account.
Wow.
Yeah, I had no idea that I was spending my own money. I thought I was spending my parents' money.
I knew the raspberries were tight, but that's pretty.
It was a rough year.
That's pretty tight.
It was a rough year for my family.
Wow.
So there's that. I probably wouldn't have spent it as much if I knew it was mine. I wish they had told me. But anyway, I got a few things to get to. I know you have some letters you want to get to, so I don't know which order you want to go in.
Let's do letters.
Okay.
We got some good letters this week.
Timely topical letters.
Sometimes it's feast or famine with these things.
Yeah.
We read letters last week. Kelly told me they went on way too long.
Yeah,
I should have paraphrased them.
Some editing.
Well,
just a little bit.
I speak for the listener.
Yeah, but sometimes we don't need as much.
I speak for the other brown man.
Who's that?
Me, the ambiguously ethnic man. Me. I speak for that type of person, the other.
Who likes to hear every detail?
You check the other box, yes. And I speak for the listener.
Okay.
Okay. First letter is from Tiffany. Dear Kelly and Alan, your podcast and the nationally syndicated Kid Craddock Morning Show are such a huge part of me and my husband's lives that we fear your retirement.
You better be fearing it. One of us is really tired.
Will you and Kelly give us some notice before you break the news? You've been discussing RVs.
I'm wearing my RV shirt.
And your future plans an awful lot lately, LOL. Will you wait until the boys are finished with school to retire? Thanks for sharing your plans.
Probably. I mean, in all honesty, we have 4 kids to get up and out of the house, and the youngest one just started first grade. And honestly, if I retired today, I don't know what I would do. I would be so out of my mind bored. And so whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed by what, I look at my calendar and I start to get a little anxiety attack, I put a few of my Highland nerve tonic pills under my tongue and remind myself that one day I'm going to be bored and nobody's going to want me to speak at this event or show up at this event or take them to this baseball game. And one day I'm going to wish I had stuff to do. That's what I keep reminding myself.
We ain't retiring anytime soon.
We're not retiring.
In fact, this year has been probably, since we've been married, the busiest year business-wise we've had. And Kelly's told me the other day, cool it.
Yeah, I said, don't book me for.
We got too much stuff going on. Cool it. I'm like, hey.
I'm starting to.
I thought you wanted me to crank this thing up. That's what we're doing. We're cranking it up.
You're cranking it up for me.
Oh, everything I'm doing is for you.
No, it's me doing all the appearances.
Oh, stuff. You're doing all the work.
I didn't say that. I said
What are you saying?
I'm saying you're booking me for all the appearances.
Well, that's true.
And it's a lot.
Well.
And it makes me a nervous wreck.
Well, I can stop.
I'm saying.
I can stop that. I got a lot of other stuff to do. That's
Thank
for sure.
you. That's what I asked you to do. I said, please don't book me for anything else for a while.
Okay. Well, we're not retiring anytime soon. Okay. This one is from. Can I say?
Wait to the end. See if she says.
Dear Kelly and Alan, first of all, I've loved your podcast since day one, and I listened to Kid Craddock for almost 20 years. You've become my radio family in the car forever.
Thank you.
I'm writing you for advice on the stages of meeting kids in a new relationship. I've met someone wonderful on Bumble.
Hey.
I've been divorced 5 years. We've waited over 6 months to introduce our children together, and we've had a few play dates at the park or splash pad as a first introduction. Sounds so far so good. He has a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old girl. I have a 10-year-old, thinking all 3 would get along great. My kid has been the one to act out in public with him, even looking him in the eye at dinner and saying, I don't like you.
Yeah.
And sulked in the booth, making bird noises, trying to make a scene.
Yeah.
As a single mom, you struggle with being over strict or not strict enough, and you never feel like you're making the right choice. I've never seen this behavior before, and it's only when it's just the 3 of us. Question, Kelly, did Emma Kelly ever do this with Alan? I know there are no post-divorce books in the world mixed with parenting, but how did you get your kids warmed up to each other when you decided to meet each other's children? We've discussed having a future together, and this has been a unique challenge. Thank you for your help. Leah in West Texas.
Not a real name, just in case. Well, I'll tell you, it doesn't sound like it's about the kids getting along. It sounds like your daughter, it's a daughter, right? I'm assuming is having trouble.
She didn't say, but
bonding with the man. And yes, Emma Kelly did have a little bit of difficulty with Alan because for so long it was just her and me. And now she had to share me, and she didn't like that. And there was a lot of tension sometimes, but Alan, is the adult in the relationship. And I'm talking about the relationship between him and Emma Kelly. He was the adult in the relationship. So he would try to find things to do for me that included her. And I thought that was really a smart move on his part.
And I think we've said this before. I mean, every kid is different. They have different personalities. Emma Kelly's personality is not one that she would do that, say something like that.
No, she would never do that. She would, you know it from her body language.
Yeah. She would never say something like that. Now, that being said, here's my opinion on this. You're talking about a 10-year-old. When we got together, Emma Kelly would remind me,
Approximately
9, 10.
the same, approximately, because yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about children that are having to deal with these very complex issues that they don't completely understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, this is kind of Captain Obvious, but they're just not able to express themselves on what they're feeling a lot of times.
Well, this kid is.
Well,
I don't like you.
Well, now he's able to express that
right.
himself, but is that appropriate? Well, no, it's not really appropriate to say that to a total stranger or somebody that your mom is starting to date. So the child is just kind of acting out in the way the child knows how to do, and that's I kind of feel uncomfortable with this whole thing. I don't like you. You know, I mean, that's what a kid would say to another kid on a playground.
And part of him or her is trying to push the guy away, but then there's a tremendous sense of guilt if that happens, because then the kid will say, oh, that was my fault. So my suggestion, like with Alan, my birthday came up and Alan decided to plant some things for me and do some landscaping. So he got a special plant that would be from Emma Kelly, and they planted those things together behind my back, you know, where I was in the house. He would find things like that they could do together for me. So they were in it together, right? Like you both had a common interest, which was me.
Yeah, right.
So I thought that was really a smart move. But that didn't mean that that didn't fix everything.
No. And like I said, these are complex things that are difficult for a child that's 8, 9, 10, or even older to understand. I think the key, like Kelly said, include everybody in what's going on. And then also, you know, patience and being reasonable and just that consistency, that wins in the long term. That's not to say every day is going to be easy or not frustrating. You know, there'll be times when it gets very frustrating and you're like, what's the matter with this kid? Why is this kid doing this? But I think
you're heading into puberty, which
right.
is even another layer.
But I think being reasonable and trying to include that child in everything that's going on as much as you can is something that will work. But
make sure they just feel secure.
But it takes time.
That I'm not trying to steal your mom. You know, the kid understands that he's not trying to steal the mom. That, you know, I want us to all, you know, reassure him of that.
I think all in all, our experience bringing the kids together, to me, from what I observed, was I don't want to say it was easy, but it was pretty low maintenance.
Yeah, the kids Emma Kelly was so happy to have siblings. There were some issues with sharing and compromising because she'd never had to do that before. Compromising wasn't something she was used to, you know, letting somebody else have their way, because when she's the only one, it was always her way, right? So that was a little bit difficult.
Yeah, and I think
they got along like siblings right off the bat.
Yeah, and I think for my kids, what I observed is they, you know, so there's 3 of them. So they're used to it being chaotic, and there's always something going on, and they're sharing stuff. And so it was relatively easy for them, I think, to accept Emma Kelly into the little family unit there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't sense any friction from anybody about that. And in fact, I know Emma Kelly loves all 3 of them, but having the little baby Dylan, she really took a liking to Dylan. Cole and her, kind of the same age. They at first pal around a lot together.
Yeah.
And now that Emma Kelly's gotten a little older and a little more mature, and Brooke is now a teenager, the 2 of them are kind of running buddies, you know. But they all 4 of them have blended together.
We were lucky with that.
Blended together really well. And I think, you know, any blended family is a challenge, but my relationship with Emma Kelly, I look at it as it's good. You know, it's good. And I would hope that Kelly feels the same way about my kids. I think it's good, you know, and we're pretty happy with the way things have gone, but it didn't all happen overnight like that.
No.
You know, while it was easy for the kids to kind of assimilate, I think it's taken a little more time, and we're still working on it for things to be completely the way we want it, I think, with each other's kids, maybe. So it just takes time. But, you know, I hope we helped, but
we just got to talk through it sometimes.
Yeah, you just got to talk through it. Exactly. Okay, here's another one. This one's from Amber. She says, you can use my real name. I've listened to the kid. I just want to say thank you for being you.
To me or you? Both of us?
I think to us. I love how
You're welcome.
I love how y'all, well, I don't know, maybe just to you, because people just give you presents. They don't give them to me. I love how y'all are not afraid to fight and tell it like it is. That's what I'll do. Fight on this podcast. Tell it like
People
it is.
love hearing that.
I listened to the Kid Craddock Show nationally syndicated for years. So when Kelly said she was starting a podcast with her husband, I had to listen. I've been listening since the podcast were only a few minutes long. Remember that?
Yeah, we didn't know what we were doing. Like 10 or 15 minutes at first, right?
I think our first one was like 15 minutes. But we didn't have any sponsors either.
Yeah, well.
So we just talked for 15 minutes and then
That's all we had.
and stopped. I was also screaming with excitement in my car on the way to work when Kelly announced her engagement. Okay, about a year and a half ago, my oldest son had a freak accident where my husband accidentally dropped him and he landed on his head.
Oh, it happens more than you realize.
My uncle did that to me when I was a kid.
It happens all the time. I was dropped. I was carrying Emma Kelly on my hip one time and ran right into a door jamb. The kid's head smashed into. These things happen all the time.
Well, here's the tough part. He's okay, but it's been a long road. We've had a shunt put in, multiple revisions, have been diagnosed with hydrocephalus.
Hydrocephalus. It's a water
Hydrocephalus,
yeah.
And many nights spent at Driscoll's Children's Hospital. That's in Corpus Christi.
So sorry.
My son has a speech delay, but he thinks he's Evel Knievel. When I was pregnant with my second son, there were complications. I almost miscarried him and had to be put on bed rest twice. I told you that to tell you this. Your podcast helped me get through those tough times. I, of course, drew closer back to God, but just for a little bit of time each week, I could tune everything out and y'all would make me laugh. So thanks for that.
That's nice.
You have no idea how much y'all have helped me. I go back and listen to old ones and they still put a smile on my face. Please never change. Love you desperately.
That's so nice.
Isn't that really nice?
And I'm glad your son is doing better. That's just, by the grace of God, babies survive, because I can't tell you, I mean, for the longest time, I didn't tell anybody that, Emma Kelly scooted off the bed and landed on her head one time, because I was trying to lay down with her on the bed to take a nap, and she had started where she could scoot herself backwards. And, I'm dozing off, and the next thing I know, thud, she's on the floor. And, by a miracle, she wasn't in the same position. These things happen so often. It's crazy.
And she also says super excited for Emma Kelly to be on the volleyball team.
Thank you. We signed her up for a rec league just in case she did not make the school league, because we just didn't know. There were so many girls trying out, and some of her friends didn't make the school league. And now she's on the rec league with those girls too. So now she's on 2 volleyball teams.
Yeah. I saw this email when I went to the mall last night. I had to meet Kelly at the mall. We were trying to do some iPhone stuff or get an iPhone fixed. Anyway, Kelly left and I stayed back and hung back at the Apple store. And I was walking out of the mall and I saw this email pop up and it just stopped me right in my tracks.
Yeah.
I stopped right in the middle of the mall and I read it and I was like, that's really nice.
It is nice.
And I know Kelly's had this experience for 25 years, but for me, it's relatively new to where, people will email you these kind of things and they'll say, hey, you guys talking made me feel better. And I don't know. It's a good feeling. I'm glad that we're able to do things that hopefully help people, that make them laugh, that maybe give them some good information that they didn't think about. To me, it makes doing all this buffoonery worthwhile.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like we're just talking to be talking, but it's a distraction for a lot of people. And I think that's a good thing.
I'm not trying
Sometimes
to be
people need to be distracted from the bad stuff going on, right?
And I'm not trying to be over serious guy, but when I sit there and sometimes in the morning I'll have my coffee, I think, what the hell am I doing here? Why am I here? And reading letters like this makes me think, well, maybe that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a part of it anyway. That's just a little part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it feels good. And I hope, Amber, that things are getting better for you.
Very nice for people to take the time to share that. Thank you, Amber. And I hope your son continues to mend.
Do you want to do something and then we'll keep doing a couple more letters?
Keep going here. One of the things that Alan and I love are lounging around in comfortable pants.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, we have like a wardrobe of comfy pants.
Yeah, we do.
A lot of joggers, right?
Love joggers. It's getting to be jogger season too.
Right. We just found some new jogger pants that are actually medical scrubs. But there's this company called Figs. And they were like, people that work in the medical profession, nurses, doctors, dentists, people like that, they have to wear these kind of boring scrubs that aren't always really super comfortable. They're kind of scratchy and dull. So they decided to create the most comfortable, stylish scrubs available. And I'll tell you what, I'm not in the medical profession, but I love wearing these joggers. They're super cool, right?
They really are. I love mine.
They are.
I got black.
Yes, they are antimicrobial, protects from germs and bacteria, which is important when you're working in the medical field. Also for people who want to lounge around in their pants at
Everyday
home.
professional loungers like us.
We want to be antimicrobial as well.
I want moisture wicking fabric.
They are ridiculously soft. They've got 4-way stretch. They are made with yoga waistbands. They come in classic straight legs to joggers, which is what we prefer to wear. They also have skinny styles too. So you can be looking hot. You can be looking stylish in your scrubs while you're running the halls. Code orange, code blue, run, and you're running through. You want to look like those sexy medical doctors on TV.
Mm-hmm. Like
you
Denny.
Can do that.
I look like Denny.
Denny was a patient that died.
Oh, I thought he was a doctor.
No, he was the patient.
I'm sorry.
Izzy was in love with. Izzy,
I want to look like Izzy.
From some hotter scrubs.
Yes. And
the thing is even if you're not in the medical profession, if you know somebody who is, if you want to give a special thank you, because I remember when I had my daughter, I wanted to send a special thank you to the nurses that helped me. I sent like a cookie bouquet. Man, I wish Figs was around back then, because you can send Figs gift cards, because you don't know what size everybody is, but they can order them for themselves. Figs is awesome in the healthcare world, or someone you just want to say thanks to. We want you to check it out.
So whether you are one of the awesome humans that works in healthcare or someone that wants to say thanks to these deserving folks, Figs is going to make it that easy by providing you with 15% off your first purchase by using our code SANDWICH. So get ready to love your scrubs. Head to wearfigs.com. That's WEARFIGS.com. Enter our code SANDWICH at checkout.
Yes.
Love Figs.
And they also, another give back company, they provide their scrubs with Threads for Threads initiative to people in need around the world.
Might get me some of them skinny scrubs. Think I can get me in the skinny scrubs?
Well, your joggers are a little bit, yeah. You can get in the skinnies too.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, Figs.
Okay, here's another good one. This is another letter. So she says, "Hi guys, I need advice on helping my teenage daughters dress appropriately and nicely."
Oh, girl, let me tell you.
Hey, this is a good one. Our kids are 13, 13, and 16. The 13-year-old boy dresses like a mismatched slob, but it seems like all the other boys in his grade do the same.
Yep. Sometimes you just gotta bite your lip and let it go, as long as he's decent.
So I'm not worried. The girls are another issue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm butting heads with my 16-year-old because on any given day, her shorts or her shirts are too short for my liking. She also has this one sweatshirt that she loves and wants to wear every day.
Every day. Why are they suddenly freezing to death at this age? What is going on?
I don't know.
I think it's all Billie Eilish, honestly.
The black isn't even black anymore. My 13-year-old daughter wants to wear nothing but a sloppy t-shirt, jean shorts, and tennis shoes.
It's the anti-fashion fashion.
I've tried nicely bringing up the conversation a few times, and they don't appreciate my commentary. Surprise, surprise. I want them to learn while they don't need to dress for anyone else or be trendy, impressions do matter. And when you dress in clothes that fit and are not wrinkled, you feel more confident. That's the parent talking right there. I personally agree with that, but we'll get into this. How can I help them navigate this phase while not making them feel that I'm judging their bodies in any way? She says, "Love you both equally."
Oh, thank you.
Dana.
I tell you what, Dana, it's hard because the look right now is our daughter Brooke, it will be 100 degrees outside. She will come out like she is preparing to go hiking through the woods during a snowstorm. It is unbelievable. She'll in these heavy hooded sweatshirts, not only just with the sweatshirt with the hood pulled over her head, that's just what kids are doing now. I think it's a lot to do with some of the artists they're following.
Sure it does.
And, you know, some of these skateboarders, some of these TikTok people, that's the stuff they're wearing and they're emulating it. I just remember when I was a kid and the MTV whole thing sprung up, and I wanted to be like the women I saw in the music videos. Now, I'm dating myself just a little bit, but if you look back to those videos that starred, you know, the sexy women like in the ZZ Top videos, and they're wearing leather miniskirts and fishnet stockings and stilettos.
The Teacher in Hot for Teacher? Oh,
that is what Kelly Raspberry, as a 16 and 17-year-old girl, was wearing, because I wanted to be like
Tawny Katane.
Yes. And I eventually had to learn the hard way that I looked ridiculous, but I had to go through that. And I think I turned out okay. But I remember one time as I was wearing my stilettos, and I've told this story before, across the parking lot at the Florence Mall in my broad daylight, leather miniskirt, fishnet stockings, and stilettos. And a man pulled up and rolled down his window and asked me, how much? And at first I was like, what is he talking about? And then it clicked. I'm like, oh, he thinks I'm a prostitute. And that's when I realized this probably isn't the best look to be sporting at the Florence Mall.
Probably not.
But I had to go through it. And we look back at the clothes we wore as teenagers, and sometimes they were really poor choices. And, you know, it's the parents' duty to kind of say something about it.
Duty. Yeah, I'm pretty, gosh, and I guess it's because our daughters are pretty conservative, but I'm pretty tolerant when it comes to the girls. We still kind of dress the boys, but the girls' fashion choices, because I know that's one way that teenage girls especially, that's one way they kind of try to express themselves, like Kelly was just telling that story. You try to express yourself through your clothing because you're kind of in this in-between stage. It's kind of hard to express yourself through words still. You got this girl or this womanly body, but you're still trapped in this little girl mind, you know? And I know clothing is a big deal of girls and who they see wear clothing, what their friends are wearing and all that, and they want to fit in. And so I get that. I guess my advice would be, as long as they're adhering to the school's dress code, the clothes are clean, and you know, if they're doing those two things, to me, their personal style wouldn't be as much of a concern at this age.
We do laugh at them.
Oh yeah,
don't get me
sure
wrong.
We do.
We kind of semi-mock them a little, like, you've got to be kidding me, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Not to the point where we're hurting their self-esteem. But I mean,
no, I never say anything to them to their face about it.
No, we laugh.
I'll say, wow, it's 97
Right.
degrees outside. You guys are going to wear sweatshirts?
Yeah.
And they're like,
We
yeah,
say
what's the big deal?
It's silly.
Does that
But then they say it's freezing in the restaurant.
Right. Does that make any sense though? I mean, it's their personal style. The clothes are clean. They're adhering to the dress code.
Yeah.
I don't really care that they're wearing hoodies and it's 97.
Right.
I mean, if that's what they want to do, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, I think the good rule of thumb is the school's dress code. As long as it's passing the school dress code, I mean, there's that. You also need to dress appropriate they need to learn how to dress appropriate for certain things like church.
Yeah, and when we ask them to get dressed for an occasion, if it's Easter or church or what, they bring more of an A game.
Yeah.
When it's their everyday stuff, they're kind of just that hoodie jean thing going on. Now, you mentioned these 13-year-old girls now in a 16-year-old. Yeah, 16 and a 13-year-old girl. Now, if our girls started to dress more scantily clad, I would definitely have issue with that.
Well, Kelly's starting to wear things that are a little too small for my liking, and I kind of have to nudge her to the larger size, you know, because I think too, for a girl, I remember being that age and I was larger than all my friends, and I was embarrassed that I was wearing a large if they were wearing a small, you know. So sometimes she wants to can I try on the small? And my daughter's not overweight at all. She's tall. And so sometimes she'll need to wear a medium. And I was like, honey, just get the medium. It's fine. Nobody's looking at the tags, you know, that kind of thing. So you know, she's got, you know, her daughter's got boobs, and she's, you know, they're trying to come to terms with their body. They don't really understand what all is going on. And sometimes she's incredibly shy. Sometimes she's not. I don't know.
Every generation, though, has their clothes. And for me, when I was growing up in the 80s, man, it was all that wild, weird stuff that Michael Jackson was wearing, the parachute pants, the funny looking jackets. And I know my mom, she knew that's what was kind of hip and what kids were wearing. She kind of didn't encourage me, but she would buy me the things that I wanted, even though I knew she thought they looked funny, or they looked maybe a little bit silly. But she went ahead and bought those things for me and kind of left it up to me. And you know what? I wasn't confident enough to wear that stuff. She would buy me those things.
The flashy stuff.
It was way too flashy for me.
You had the zipper jacket.
Yeah. Parachute. I had parachute pants, like zipper jackets, and all that stuff. Anybody that knows me back in high school, don't know, that guy, he never dressed like that. I was very conservative. You know, I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. So I just wear, you know, just collared shirts and jeans. That's what.
Well, my mother didn't buy me those things. I worked and bought my own clothes, so she wouldn't have bought me those things, I don't think.
Yeah. So that's an interesting question. The fashion.
Yeah.
There will always be something that the kids are wearing that the parents don't like. You know.
That's true.
And I guess another thing, just one more thing to put a period on that. Any kind of messaging on clothing that would be inappropriate would be something I'd have a problem with too.
I'll tell you what, there's some YouTube star. We were at the mall yesterday, day before, I don't remember.
Yesterday.
Well, I think it was the day before. I was with another girl. But anyway, we went to one of these stores. My mother had been in with Emma Kelly before, and like the F word was right there at the counter on some merchandise. And this is a store that markets to young people. And we went in there because Emma Kelly was
like spelled out.
Yeah, my mother was horrified. And we went into the store because Emma Kelly's been looking for this certain Champion shirt that some TikToker wears. It's just a gray t-shirt that says Champion. It's a loose fitting shirt. She needs clothes for school. She had a growth spurt over summer. Fine, let's go try to find it. Well, while we're in there, they have a whole window and all the shirts and sweatshirts and everything say virginity rocks. And I was like, I don't know what's going on with that. Are they being sarcastic? Is this like a Christian YouTube star? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? But apparently there's some guy that has a YouTube channel or something. And I asked Emma Kelly about it. She goes, oh, he just does funny shirts. I was like, so this is a joke? And then I saw some really tall, like 16-year-old boy wearing the Virginity Rocks sweatshirt in the mall. So that's going on. Wow. In addition to, on the flip side, highly inappropriate words.
I tell you what, as a kid who grew up in the 80s, that shirt would not have been worn by dudes back in the 80s.
He was wearing it, but she said it's some guy with a YouTube channel.
Huh, interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I want my daughter to think virginity rocks.
Sure, yeah.
But I don't know that I necessarily want her wearing a shirt that says that.
Right. Let's keep all the sexual beliefs to ourselves right now, I think. At 12.
Yeah, it was just like, they kind of giggled when they saw it. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, right.
I was more talking about things that are profane, but
I was just saying that made me think of that shirt when you said that.
That's interesting.
It's not profane, but it's like
it's controversial. It's taking a hard social stance on something.
Yeah.
Which today you got to be careful about.
And maybe it's a message that he's sending out to say, hey, it's okay and that's cool. And I'm like, all for it. I just don't want my daughter wearing the shirt in the mall. Am I too prudish?
Are you too prudish? No,
I don't think I'm too prudish.
I don't think that would be a good shirt to wear.
Right. All right. So this past weekend, I went to my niece's wedding in Florida. Hurricane Dorian, spinning in the Bahamas. She had a beautiful wedding outdoors in Florida. It was a miracle. Cool breeze coming off the lake. It was great. And a lot of people, I said, were giving her grief about, you look so young. You're too young. 22, getting married. Hey, is that an indicator of a successful marriage, an unsuccessful marriage, depending on your age? Well, actually, according to the Institute for Family Studies, the ages between 28 And 32 are the best ages to get married. Waiting to 28 to 32.
That didn't seem to work out for me.
Me neither, but I didn't get married at 28 to 32. I think I got married at 36 the first time. They said waiting to wed until then.
I think I was 27, actually.
See, you should have waited one more year.
Waited one more year.
Waiting to wed until then reduces the odds of divorce, according to researchers at the University of Utah. However, once you're older than 32, the odds your marriage will be successful start falling for every year you wait. So I guess this means for first marriages, right?
I'm assuming so.
Interesting. So I got married the first time at 36, and that didn't last very long. I don't think we made it to our 3-year anniversary. But they say that actually prenups are becoming more and more popular for people getting married, but it's mostly the millennials that are doing it.
I thought the millennials didn't have any money. What do they need a prenup for?
Well, I don't know. They said 62% of divorce attorneys surveyed reported an increase in the total number of clients requesting prenups in recent years. Among those attorneys who reported the increase, 51% said the increases in the number of millennial clients signing prenups. I guess you've got some millennials that are making money in the tech world and stuff. Do you know the age of millennials? I always have to guess. If you were born between 1981 and 1996, you are considered a millennial. That would be the ages of 23 to 38 as of this year.
So they need a prenup to keep all their college debt or something?
Well, I mean, in your 30s, you're starting to earn income.
Yeah.
Usually,
But,
right?
Yeah. Right.
I guess it starts balancing out.
I guess.
We did not have a prenup.
Who?
You and
Kelly
me.
Raspberry Evans and Alan Evans?
Yeah, we did not.
I should have made you sign one.
Why?
Because of my vast estate. I need to protect myself. In my vast estate.
Okay.
Oh no.
Did we even consider one? Did we even talk about one? Did you tell me you would be
I brought it up to you.
Yeah, you told me you'd be willing to sign
Yes, I brought it up to you. I said, hey, look, just so you know that I'm here for the right reasons. I'm glad to do whatever you want me to do regarding that.
What did I say?
And you said, no, I don't think that's appropriate. And I was like,
I said appropriate?
I don't know that you used the word
I
appropriate.
think I don't want to do that.
You said, yeah, something like that.
What if I said yes?
Then I would have signed it.
And that would have made you think differently? Like,
no.
She's going into this with one, not as wholeheartedly?
Well, I can say that now because I'm sitting here. But I'm not a second marriage, people in our situation. That wouldn't have been way off base to me.
Yeah.
I don't think so. And I think a lot of people listening would be like, Kelly, you didn't have him sign a prenup? But I offered it. I said, hey, I'll be more than happy to do that if that's what you want me to do.
Were people putting that bug in your ear?
No, nobody put the bug in my ear, actually. Nobody did.
It was on your own?
No.
I just didn't know if some people were saying something and it kind of got to you and you thought, well, let me just address the elephant in the room.
No, nobody. But why is it just why isn't anyone asking if you would have signed a prenup if I wanted you to sign like my prenup? Why isn't anyone asking that?
I don't know.
What do they think? I was homeless or something?
I don't know.
Jeez.
I don't know.
I did have a really great job.
Yeah, you did.
And I made a lot of money.
You did.
And I was doing very well.
I didn't say anybody was asking me about it.
Why everyone would assume that I was homeless or anything like that.
Do you remember what we got as wedding gifts?
I remember what I gave you.
I
remember what you gave me.
Yeah. But do you remember what was your favorite wedding gift that wasn't from me? Do you remember anything like that?
Boy, I've really been put on the spot right now.
Let me just save you the
garlic
trouble
press.
of thinking. I got you a garlic press.
Walk.
We didn't get a walk.
Oh.
The most popular wedding gifts of 2019. If you have a wedding to catch before the end of the year, man, the KitchenAid stand mixer. Those things are so expensive. And unless you're I've never really had the need for one. It just sits on your counter and makes you look fancy, I guess. Also, OXO Good Grip stainless steel measuring cups. We got measuring cups for the wedding.
I know OXO.
The 18-piece glass Pyrex set. That's a good gift.
That's a solid
for baking,
gift.
yes.
That's very solid.
A Cuisinart 4-slice toaster. A lot of
I don't like the big fat toaster.
You
The
don't?
big 4-slice toaster.
How about a toaster oven?
I
You
mean,
like the toaster or the
You know,
toaster
I
oven?
used to be so anti-toaster oven, but Kelly, put this toaster oven on our countertop. I use that freaking toaster oven all the time.
Thank you.
I love the toaster oven. Not a fan of the big, because I can put chicken wings in a toaster oven.
That's right.
I can't put chicken wings in a big fat piece of
You
toaster.
can't. My ex-husband insisted on the slice toaster and made me get rid of the toaster oven. That's one of the reasons we got divorced.
Toaster oven's greatness.
I'm telling you right now. And the Ninja blender. That's the other popular gift according to the Knot. That's what people are registering for and receiving and loving. So in case you're wondering what to get people.
That's that high-end stuff, that ninja stuff.
Yeah. Now, if you want to avoid divorce and not worry about, following through with the terms of that prenup, a recent survey said simple acts of kindness are more appreciated than the big grand gestures. I have said this before. If you go to the gas station and you're like, hey, my wife's favorite candy bar is a payday. I'm going to get her a payday and bring it home. That can mean more than coming home with, a big designer or something or other, right? It's the little things. It's the little things. It really is the daily remembrances. It's sticking a note on the windshield, stuff like that. Or they recommend like putting the garbage cans out without being asked, or telling them they look good naked. These are the things they suggest. They do a lot more to keep your relationship happy than a box of chocolates or a bunch of flowers. But I do like it when you bring me flowers because that means you thought of me too.
I haven't done that in a while. Probably need to throw one.
You've done it within the past
Need to throw one in there.
month, I think.
Oh, okay.
The next time, though, you do get annoyed with your husband,
which will happen in the next
you've asked him
5 minutes for
if
you.
you've asked him to run an errand or do something, and he forgets to pick up the milk, or he plays video games instead of cleaning out the garbage like you asked him to do, or if he does anything else that irritates you, try saying a prayer for your husband to have good health, that God protects them, and that he is happy. Because a recent study revealed that spouses who pray for their partner's well-being feel closer to them, and they're more willing to overlook those little flaws than people who don't pray. So the next time you tick me off, I'm going to pray for you, honey.
Good tip.
I'm not going to flip you off behind your back anymore. I'm going to pray for you.
Well, I hope so. I still don't think that that's a proper way to conduct oneself.
But you don't know I'm doing it. It's
It doesn't
behind your
matter.
back.
Do you want me doing things that, hey, just because she doesn't know about it, it's okay?
I wouldn't know.
I don't think that that's a good way to roll.
But it helps you let out steam.
So you're saying that it's okay to do things as long as I don't know about them, it's fine.
If I'd say something and piss you off and you're behind me going, you can't tell me you've never done that. You can't tell me you've never made that mocking.
I've never gone.
face
I've never gone.
behind my back when I wasn't looking.
No. That's something a 6-year-old would do. I don't look at you behind your back and go, meh. No, I don't do that. That's not what I do.
I don't flip you off either. I was just showing
Yeah, right. I know you do.
I do.
I've seen you. I've seen you in a window before doing it.
You did not. You lie. You lie.
Mm-hmm.
I found all these marriage statistics. That's what I'm finding so fascinating. I'm going to share a couple more here. If you plan on having a big family, you should also plan on getting fatter.
Yeah.
According to a Duke University study, for every child a couple has, mom's risk of obesity rises by 7%. But dad, you're not off the hook. Dad's jumps by 4%. That's the risk of obesity.
Wow.
For every child you have. So I only had one, and you had 3. So you have more.
So does that mean
you have more.
Does that mean
the odds are worse for you getting obese.
I'm up 12% or something? Is that what that means?
Something like that.
Red Mountain. Reader's
Digest says if you turn your man on with a striptease, you better arm yourself with some other way to excite him as the years go by.
Okay.
A University of Chicago study found 51% of 25 to 29-year-old men became excited when they watched their wives undress. By the mid-40s, that percentage dropped to 40%, and it just keeps going lower.
What is it?
Let me tell you
What is
right
it when
now,
you're in your 70s?
I have gotten out like naked from a shower before I'm like, hey, honey. And you're like, what? I'm like, doesn't this, And he's like, what? I've seen you naked.
Not 30 minutes ago, you described yourself coming out of the water is what the great white whale with red hair or something with red
It was
Q-tip
not
hair.
a great white whale. It was a bloody Q-tip.
But whatever.
You made it a
You
great
said
white
something
whale.
like that, and now you're saying, well, when you come out of the water, you're doing something, and I should
I'm
be
just
what?
saying, you're like,
I'm really confused on how I should act.
you should want to like take me right there. But you're like, nah, been there, seen that.
That's not what I've never said those words. Kelly is putting words in my mouth. I've never said
No,
that.
you haven't said it.
Never said that. Never
You also
would.
haven't gone me behind my back.
Never would say that.
And if you want to keep your man happy, of course, you know we're heading into football season, so it's important to show, well, Alan, you don't really care if I watch the games with you or not, do you?
Best time of year.
Do you care if I watch the games with you? Do you enjoy it when I do? I'm not annoying when I do, am I?
If you watch the games with me, I'd have a great time. If you choose to watch something else, go watch something else. That's fine too.
Just leave you alone.
But if you're going to watch the game with me, I'd love it. Sure.
But would you rather me not ask a bunch of questions and just kind of enjoy it? I do get into the games.
No, if you wanted to ask questions so you could understand the game better and have more fun watching it, I'd be happy to answer because I know a lot about football. I do.
You do?
I do.
Well, it's estimated there are a total of 41 million people who will be playing fantasy sports in the U.S. and Canada. 80% of those are men. There are women that like to play. I don't understand fantasy football. You pick players from different teams to make up your team. And then you have to keep track of how well they do each game.
Right.
And then that affects your team. That's where I'm out. I understand that part.
You add up the points all your players get versus all the points the other team gets. And whoever has the most points wins.
So it doesn't matter about how many yards they got?
Yeah, yards go into it. Touchdowns go into it. Sometimes leagues, they have defenses and coaches and special teams and all this stuff. I used to play fantasy football. It's fun.
Don't anymore.
It's a lot of fun.
Okay, well, that's the thing.
But it took too much time.
Even as a woman, if you don't understand it, if you kind of think it's stupid, but your husband is really into it, you should root for his success, be happy for him when he talks about it, act a little enthusiastic. They said your man will love you more if you pretend to be interested in his fantasy football team. And for bonus points, you might even just ask him from time to time, hey, how's your fantasy football team doing? Out of the blue. He would be like, wow, I'm so glad you asked, because they're into it. And by the way, sports people at Sports Illustrated, the football prognosticators, they are already predicting who's going to play in this year's Super Bowl. Now, nobody's played a single game yet, right? Except for the scrimmages.
First game's tomorrow.
The scrimmages have been played.
Well, the preseason games are all over.
The preseason.
Yeah,
is that
the first real game is tomorrow.
Is that considered scrimmages, preseason?
Well, they don't call them scrimmages. They're preseason games.
All right. Well, those have been played. So I guess they have to go by that. But that really doesn't count either, because you don't really play your best players all the time. You're just kind of still feeling things out, right?
Right. Look at Kelly Raspberry with the hot sports analyses.
Well, they are predicting this year's Super Bowl in 2020 will be between the Patriots and the Saints. Haven't they been there, done that?
Let's do our Super Bowl predictions.
Well,
the first game is tomorrow. I don't care what they predicted. I want to hear yours. Here's mine. First game's tomorrow, so we can do this. Not one game has been played. The Super Bowl this year will be the New England Patriots versus the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, you and Big Al think that.
My man.
I mean, that's great to be supportive of your home team, but they say it's going to be the football experts and not just loyal Cowboys fans. Think it's going to be the Patriots versus the Saints, with the Patriots winning 27-23.
Who dat?
They've already got that.
Who dat say they're going to beat them Saints?
Sports Illustrated football prognosticators.
I say Cowboys
will.
Cowboy Central right here.
So that's what we're looking forward to. Lots of football, and I don't mind. I'll watch it with you. I'll order a pizza and sit there. We'll go off our diet on Sundays, and
we can't do that. Well, Red Mountain, full blast.
Well, you can, not even for football.
Yeah, no, I could eat a little pizza.
So anyway, I got a lot more stuff to get to, but
that's
I'll
awesome,
save
man.
it.
You brought some great show content. In fact, you brought so much that we're not getting to mine, but that's okay. because we have done an hour of podcast.
Well, what did you want to get to?
Oh, I'll do it. I'll do
Save it
next
because
time.
I've got
I'll
even
save it.
more.
No.
I've got a notebook full of notes.
Oh my goodness.
Of stuff that I didn't get to.
Yeah, why don't we save that?
Quality stuff that I will get to next time.
You got to leave them yearning for more, longing for more.
Well, we are wrapping up the end of the podcast. We're wrapping up the end of our broadcast day, and we're going to be taking our little heinies to bed. You know, the average American spends a third of his or her life between the sheets. I wish I spent a little bit more. I think I throw those averages off a little bit, right? But we all need to get more sleep. And when you are in your bed, you want it to be the most comfortable, luxurious experience possible. Sometimes I'm so happy to lie down in my bed in my Brooklinen sheets. I get a little misty-eyed because I'm so happy to be there. They are tears of joy. When you sleep, if you want to sleep in luxury, you need to check out Brooklinen. These are the winner of the best of online bedding by Good Housekeeping. Go online, read the reviews. Over 35,000 5-star reviews, more than any other online bedding company. The people who founded this company, a husband and wife, they realized they weren't having quality sheets. They go to these luxury hotels and are like, why can't we have these bed sheets at home? Then they looked into the price. They were like, oh, sticker shock. They said there's got to be a way to do these quality sheets for less. And they found they could do that by selling them online. They cut out the middleman so you don't have that huge markup. They have patterns you can mix and match. They have duvet covers. They even have towels. They have all sorts of things. If you're setting up a home, it'd be a great wedding gift. Speaking of the great wedding gifts to give people, Brooklinen sheets.
That's the best wedding gift.
I'm telling you, they're the most comfortable sheets we've ever slept on. They're towels. It'll be like you're in a spa. We couldn't recommend them more for friends, for family, for wedding gifts, to give yourself the luxury you deserve.
And Brooklinen.com is giving an exclusive offer just for our listeners. Get 10% off and free shipping when you use promo code Kelly, Kellie, at Brooklinen.com. Brooklinen is so confident in their product that all their sheets, comforters, and towels come with a lifetime warranty. The only way to get 10% off and free shipping is to use that promo code Kelly, Kellie, at Brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. Promo code Kelly, Brooklinen. These are the best sheets ever.
Let's go get in them, babe.
And that's a very long time. Ever.
All
right, babe. Well, this was a lot of fun. I didn't get to talk about my snake hunting adventures, but that's all right.
Tell it real quick. You really do, because you got a lot of feedback on social media about that. Alan posted on his Instagram story, and I hadn't seen it. I'm just telling you, I hadn't seen it. I was at work, and he's like, "You haven't seen my Instagram story," because he knows I would have said something.
At the Alonzo 1971.
Yeah, he said, "Go look at my Instagram story." And I was at work, so about an hour later, I finally had a minute to look at it. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you did not tell me that this is really happening.
I was out in the backyard grilling hamburgers and hot dogs for the boys. And I'm just kind of standing there listening to the burgers crackle on the grill. And I kind of look over into the pool and I see a little snake, and he's kind of thrashing around.
A snake.
The snake
Snake.
was probably at the high side 6 inches long.
Well,
not even 6 inches
when
long.
I saw that video, there was no perspective.
About as thin as a pencil.
Well, there was no perspective on the video, and it looked like a freaking anaconda.
I immediately ID'd the snake as a earth snake.
What's an earth snake?
It's a snake that burrows in the beds back there looking for earthworms.
There's more?
Probably. So I could tell he was thrashing and floundering, and he goes belly up, and he's about to drown.
Wow.
So of course I got to document all this on social media. So I got my stories going, but then I just grabbed him with my hand and got him out of the pool.
And that's when I realized how small he was.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, when there's no perspective, he's just in the water. He looked gigantic.
Right. Yeah. A lot of men have that problem when, people think the snake is really big, but when they get their hand down there and whip it out, it's not really that big.
Yeah, it was a tiny little thing.
Right. So.
Very.
Sorry. So I just released him back into the flower beds to go about his business, which is eating earthworms underground. That's all he does.
Why does he? But earthworms aren't a nuisance, are they?
Well, no, they're not a nuisance, but that's what he eats. They're just these little tiny snakes that eat earthworms and grubs and slugs and things like that.
Right.
So I posted this story. You would have thought that there was a freaking anaconda back there.
Well, it looked that
People
way.
were like, burn the house down, drain the pool. You got to move now.
Oh.
There's more. There's babies. Where there's a little snake, there's big snakes. And
How little does that snake get? How big?
that's as big as it's going to get.
That's really as big as a snake. That wasn't a baby. That was a full grown.
Yeah, they're these little tiny snakes. And so now somebody did ask a good question. And the question was, how did you know the snake wasn't? She said poisonous. Snakes aren't poisonous. They're venomous.
Don't be correcting, man.
How did you know the snake wasn't poisonous?
Poisonous.
Now, this is a good question because you don't.
Because I wouldn't know.
No.
I would just kill it.
No,
and then people get all mad. That was a good snake. I don't have time.
Because if you don't know anything about snakes, you shouldn't be reaching down there and grabbing snakes.
I'm going to run or kill it.
I know stuff about snakes, number one, because I used to keep snakes. Number two, I've read a bunch about snakes. I know a lot about snakes. So I immediately knew it was just a little earth snake and it wasn't poisonous. Someone said, well, how do you know it wasn't poisonous? Okay, in Texas, we have rattlesnakes.
Poisonous.
Poisonous. Coral snakes.
Poisonous.
Poisonous. Copperheads. Poisonous. And cottonmouth, otherwise known as the water moccasin. Those are the poisonous snakes we have. It wasn't a rattlesnake. It wasn't a coral snake. You can just tell by looking at it. It wasn't a copperhead. That leaves one snake it could be. It could have been a water moccasin. Now, water moccasins.
It was in the water.
Right, but he couldn't swim. And water moccasins are real fat and they have big triangular heads. Most venomous snakes have big triangular heads. It's for those venom glands in their cheeks and they have fangs, right? So this guy had this little tiny head, this little pointy tiny head, and I could tell, oh, that's an earth snake. He like burrows in the ground and eats earthworms. That's how I knew it wasn't poisonous. Now, if you don't know anything about snakes, don't go touching snakes.
Kill it.
No, don't kill it. Just let it be. Just let him go do his business. Because what he's doing, he's eating gross stuff that you don't want in your yard anyway.
I don't want the gross snake in my yard.
Babe, there is so much stuff living back there behind the pool.
I will never.
You don't even want to know.
Go behind the pool.
There are lizards back there. There are frogs. There are snakes. There's all kinds of stuff back there.
Ugh.
And they're fine. They don't want to have anything to do with Kelly Raspberry.
Great.
Or Alan Evans. You should have seen him. When I reached down there to get him, he panicked. He thought I was going to eat him. Yeah.
Well, there's that.
Anyway.
There's Alan's snake story.
Everyone was going ape about, I'd say, I don't know. I mean, most people wanted us to burn the house down and move to Alaska. I'd say there were like 2 or 3 people that said, Alan, good job on saving the snake's life and putting him back in like his home. I was like, yeah, I mean, he didn't hurt anybody.
Oh, you snake lovers.
He wouldn't hurt anybody.
I did see where somebody said move to Alaska. You said, well, how about Hawaii? Or no, they said, how about Hawaii? And you said, well, there are snakes there. And they said, no, there are not. That Hawaii has gotten rid of all their snakes.
And I came back and said, yes, there is. There's a burrowing snake in Hawaii that's native to the Philippines that still lives there.
You Googled it.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know that.
Yeah, I did. I knew there were snakes in Hawaii. I just didn't know which one it was.
There's something else they don't have in Hawaii. Is it cats?
I don't know.
There's something they don't have in Hawaii.
No, they don't want snakes in Hawaii, though, because if there was an invasive snake in Hawaii, they'd end up eating all the birds and all the nice stuff there. They don't want snakes, and I don't blame them.
So there's only one snake.
I've read that there's this little harmless snake. It's like 3 inches long. It lives underground. It's called some kind of burrowing snake, and it's native to the Philippines. It came there over on a boat or something. And now
they just left that alone.
Yeah, it's because they're underground.
Well, how did they get rid of the other ones? They just killed them until they were all gone?
I guess, babe. I don't know. I don't know if there are snakes native to Hawaii that they killed off. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. But there are no snakes in like Antarctica, like Ireland. There are no snakes in Ireland either, I don't think. Greenland. I mean, there's a few places in the world there aren't snakes.
Let's move there when we retire.
Greenland?
Greenland's really icy, right?
I don't know. I thought Trump was going to buy it or something.
I think I read that they named Iceland Greenland to fool like people.
Oh.
So they think that it was, something like that. I'm going to stop talking because the more I talk, the stupider I sound.
That's okay, babe. You did a good job on this podcast, though, but we've gone really long.
Okay, let's go.
Like my snake. Unlike my snake.
Unlike your snake.
Unlike my snake.
We'll come back next podcast because, man, the stuff we didn't get to, incredible.
It's award winning. All right. Well, I love you desperately.
I love you.
I love our listeners desperately. We'll podcast again. Probably in a few days. Probably Sunday night.
Definitely in a few days. We'll record again on Sunday.
And in the immortal words of the
And
great
join us on YouTube when we do.
Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich. Bye.
Sorry I interrupted you.
I'm used to it.
Just plow through.
Yep. All right.
I really do have some stuff for next cast.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Mm-hmm. There you go, Michael. You're Michael, marketing this podcast. Man. My man. Let's see here. Never seen so much hullabaloo over a little tiny brown snake. It's like, damn thing thought he was going to get eaten. Just thrashing and flopping around. Smash the like button. Oops. Here, hold on, guys. I got to do this real quick. Just because you can't see them, babe, doesn't mean they're not there. Don't pick your nose. Let's see here. We'll file upload, Roadcaster, Road, Podcasts, Podcast 39, which has nothing to do with the episode number. It's a little slower than usual. We'll let that go. All right. Michael, thanks for moderating. You had to get your big wrench out and hit some guys over the head, did you?
Really?
Well, there's every once in a while there's a troll or a spammer. He gets in there and just puts them in timeout.
Thanks, Michael.
They don't like being in timeout. Oh my gosh.
I'm tired.
Thank you, Ginger. Thank you, Michael. You're a good man. Show notes.
Is he sending me show notes?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Let's see if this is done. All right, guys.
Are you doing? Just reading memo messages?
Yeah. Let's see what everybody said. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you, Kedron. I'm sorry. I mess up your name every time. Good night, Christy Kincaid Norris. Good night, Christy.
Good night.
Good night, Kara. Kara, I think I need to send you an email. I think Julie gave me your email address. Is that correct? Good night, Carolyn. Good night, Ginger. Got a Ginger on here.
Hey, Ginger.
Ginger Trotter. I like that. Christy. Yeah. Okay, guys. Sam, I am. My man. Good night, Hector. Night, guys.
Good night.